second just to make sure. I want to make sure that our stream is working. I believe it is. Awesome. Well, I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. It is 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here in Mesa, Arizona. This is our live stream, and really, this is going to be the first of many. We're going to do this every other week. I'm going to come to you guys live on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm going to help you when it comes to anything video related. So whether this is video ads, whether this is content, whatever this might be, I'm going to help you guys do that. Let me also let me make sure that we are streaming here. Awesome, we are here, great. So what I want you guys to do now is I'm going to be here for as long as I possibly need to be here, answering all of your questions. There'll be nothing held back. We are going to help you on anything as long as you are watching live. That's the whole purpose of this, is to get you to watch live, to bring you in, to help you specifically with everything. I see Alan is in the call. Welcome to the call, Alan. Thank you so much. So here's what I want you to do. In the very beginning here, for a few moments, I'm going to go through some preliminary stuff. I'm going to make some announcements, some stuff that you guys are going to want to hear about. And really what that's going to do is, as you're listening to them and you're hearing those announcements, type in the chat or in the comments below what questions you have. This is going to be completely unscripted. I don't know what your questions are, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I have another laptop here. If I need to share my screen and we need to write stuff out, we're going to do that. Whether you need help with scripting, whether you need help with strategy, whether you need help with ad placement, whether you need help with editing, whether you need help with the entire funnel, whether you need help with organic or paid, it doesn't matter. I want you to put your questions down below, and I'm going to do my very, very best to answer them. If I were in your situation, what I would be doing. So again, I'm going to make some announcements here. Again, if you have questions, make sure you are putting those in the chat. I'm going to comment, I'm going to respond, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to do it in order, so make sure you are asking your questions. Also, it goes without saying that this Ask Me Anything live stream is brought to you by Major League Video Marketing. Major League Video Marketing is our training program, our coaching program that helps you specifically on all things YouTube, as to understand YouTube as a platform, to understand Google as a platform, to know what videos to make, how to get them into the hands of your audience, in front of your audience, and to get them to make buying decisions in your favor. If you'd like to learn more about our program, feel free to go to that link down below, majorleaguevideo.com, schedule a call with me directly, and we'll see if our program is a good fit for you and what you're trying to do. You guys have heard me tease this a little bit. Our next call is going to be in 2 weeks. It's going to be on June 9th. And on that specific call, I'm going to be doing a live life insurance ad. This was voted on by everybody in our group. If you're not a part of the Major League Video Marketing Facebook group, make sure you do that. Go on Facebook, search for that, and you will be able to join. What I did is I put out a poll a few weeks ago, or a few days ago, I should say, and I asked people, what is it that you guys want to learn? What if I were to build an ad from start to finish with the script, with the targeting, with the ad placement, with the landing page? What would you guys want to see? And life insurance was the clear-cut winner. So we're going to be building a life insurance ad live. This is typically stuff that is reserved for private clients of ours, but I want to make sure that this gets into your hands and that you guys learn this as well. So if you want to learn how to build a life insurance ad, one that we've built and we've used throughout the country with numerous people, not just ourselves, but with numerous people, and they've gotten incredible results, then I want you to join in on that call. It's going to be at the same time in 2 weeks from now. Make sure you do that. Again, if you are new to the call, make sure you are putting your questions in the chat so that I know what questions I can answer for you. This is interactive. The whole purpose of this is to help you. So whatever marketing questions or video marketing questions, really any questions that you have at all, I'm happy to discuss anything. What's going on, Jackson? Great to have you on the call. Thank you for joining us. I was just talking about the breaking news that we're going to be doing in 2 weeks from now, where we are doing the Done With You ad 2 weeks from now. Also, if you are new here, do me a huge favor, leave a like on this video It will help us out tremendously. Just like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and follow us. You know, we're trying to do our best to put out as much amazing content as possible. So with that being said, I'm going to get right into it. I want to know specifically what questions you have. How is it that I can help you? What is it that you're working on? Where are you getting bottlenecks? Where are you kind of falling short? Make sure you put that down below. I want to be able to be an asset for you, a resource for you, somebody that's going to help you do that. We do this. This is something that we do a lot as well in our private group, where we are helping our clients and our students and our members with their YouTube ads. I want to make sure I'm providing some level of that to you guys here. I'm prepared to go as deep as you guys want to go and really talk about anything that you want to talk about, help answer any questions that you might have. I'll be honest, I was a little nervous for today's call. I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous. I don't know why. I guess whenever you do things live, you're always kind of, you never know what's going to work. And this is kind of a new thing for us. And so I'm really excited to do that. So in your second video, Jackson wants to know, in your second video, you referenced in market. What do you mean by that? It's a great question. So I'm going to actually draw that out, because the way that I like to teach is I like to teach by explaining. And so we'll explain what in-market audiences are and how they work on Google. So if you just give me 1 second here, we will do that. Great. So hopefully you guys can see here. So when it comes to targeting, Google gives us the ability to target in-market ads or in-market audiences. And essentially what that means is Google has a really good idea on how you behave. They know they can kind of gauge what your buying patterns are, or what your particular habits are on the internet. So here's how I can best explain it. We're going to say that this is you, Jackson. And Jackson is nice there. Let's give Jackson a little hat. You know, Jackson is doing his thing on the internet. And Jackson goes to google.com. He also, maybe, at some other point, goes to youtube.com. And let's talk about something that Jackson might be looking for. Well, since we're talking about life insurance in 2 weeks, I'll use a different example. Let's say Jackson's trying to buy a house. So Jackson types in Google, homes for sale in, we'll call it Jacksonville. Heyo. Right. Now he gets shown a bunch of different things from Zillow, Redfin, Trulia. He's looking at houses. Maybe he also pivots a little bit and he goes down to a mortgage calculator, right? And he's typing in things. He's going to different websites that have mortgage calculators on them. This is mortgage calculator. He also sees a number of houses on video, because maybe a real estate agent or a real estate company in Jacksonville has put up a bunch of property listings, houses for sale, whether they're currently for sale or they're still that, and they're in the YouTube search algorithm. They've been SEO'd, or they're just at the top of a search result. Google will show people videos, or YouTube will show people videos, and there'll be pictures or there'll be videos of houses, and Jackson is watching that content. So what Google then begins to do, I'm going to scroll down here, is Google takes all of this data and it puts you into a little box. And this box is called in-market audience. So basically it says, okay, we know what Jackson's doing on the internet. He's watching these videos, he's going to these websites, he's doing it kind of repeatedly. He's doing it more than once, and he's showing a pattern of somebody that is looking to buy a house. He's looking to buy a home based on what he's doing on the internet, based on the websites that he's going to, based on the videos that he's watching, based on the searches that he's putting into google.com. Google, who owns YouTube, says, we got a really good idea that Jackson is trying to buy a house here. So what you can then do as a advertiser is you can start to run ads to Jackson. And in this ad, you could take them to a landing page. And that's essentially it. So it's using the data in this market, in this audience, to then say, okay, if we want to target people who are in the market to buy a house, we can do that. And then what we just need to do is we need to come up with the right offer and the right script that's going to attract those people. So getting in front of these in-market audiences is great. Now, here's the thing that's great about in-market audiences. In-market audiences are broad, plentiful. So you're never really going to run out of a lot, and depending on what it is you're doing, we'll use the real estate example as an example. You're not going to run out of a lot of people. It's going to be hard to run out of people unless you're trying to really only hone in on like maybe your street address. You're not going to run out of an audience. If you're trying to target your city or your state, I mean, there's most cities or states, there's constantly people moving, looking to move. So it's broad. You're able to get in front of a large group of people. Here's the downside of an in-market audience. I call it the two-edged sword. So because I like to draw, this is, I don't know what I'm drawing here. We're going to call this is like a little sword, right? Yeah. That totally doesn't look like a sword, by the way. Anyways, sorry guys, unintended. So the two-edged sword is this. While it's broad, on this side, it's not real time on this side. We will go to the example again of the house. Yes, you are in the market to buy a house, but Google doesn't know if you sold or bought a house yesterday. It has no idea if you went under contract. It's going to take some time. So it's not real time. So yes, you're able to get in front of a lot of people, but there's no guarantee that the people you're getting in front of still have that need or still in the market. It'll take some time before it filters out. It's like it's like a cup that's dirty and you got to pour water into it. There's displacement that happens. So as you start to do new things and you stop looking at houses, that dirt's going to come to the top with as you put water in the cup, and it's eventually going to run out. So that's how you need to look at that. So let's see here. So I hope Jackson, does that make sense on the in-market audience? It's a templated audience that Google uses based on what it is that user is doing on the internet. Alan wants to know, what's the first video you'll do and the type of YouTube ad that you'll run, and how much is a fair number to start? Great question, Alan. Do me a favor, tell me in the chat what it is that you do. What niche are you in? What is your business model? And what is it that you were trying to sell? Because I think knowing that it's going to give me a really good idea on how to answer that. What's the first video that you'll do and the type of YouTube ad that you'll run, and how much does it start? So I'll speak generically for me, and then once I kind of get more information on what it is that you do, we can kind of speak to that a little bit more. So for me, I've actually done this where I've had to approach new markets and new geographical places to get my name out there, to kind of build some brand awareness. So what I like to do is I like to do what I call billboard ads. So first I'll start flooding a location with just some billboard ads, and I might spend $2 to $3 a day on these billboard ads. And the billboard ad is essentially me just trying to promote my brand, trying to promote a value proposition. The call to action to do this, that, or the other is there, but it's not as like thick. I'm talking about kind of the problems that people have. I'm just kind of talking about our value proposition, what it is that we stand for, what is it that we're best known for, why people want to work with us, etc. I'm trying to kind of prep and warm up a cold audience with just some branding material, just some messaging that gets people kind of used to who we are. Then what I'll do is I will spend a little bit of time doing that. I'll get some data, because I will have people watch it. I will have people click through to it. I'll start to have that stuff. And it'll be kind of expensive to start, meaning I'm not getting a heavy volume of leads. Then what I'll do is I'll go back into that territory, or that geographic place, and I'll hit them with a more direct response ad. And that type of ad is something that's, I'm really trying to create an offer that's attractive to people. I'm really trying to create something that people want to take part of, and they want to learn more about because it solves a problem, or there's an attraction piece to it. So I'll do that ad next, and that ad, it's very much trying to leave breadcrumbs where I'm trying to bring people through. Okay, you have this problem. You are qualified based on these tangible things. Now this is how you get it, and what I want you to do is I want you to then complete these steps in order to get what it is that we've kind of led you through. So that's typically one of the strategies that I'll do first when I'm trying to either introduce something brand new or I'm trying to do a new location. So you're in real estate, great. So I don't if by real estate I'm gonna assume a real estate agent and not a loan. I'm assuming a real estate agent. So for a real estate agent, what I do is I would probably really start to get my name out there with people more by taking interest topics that people might have. So as an example, I might try to make content both organically and with ads, but probably more so on the organic side where I'm trying to leverage other people's audiences, people of influence in my community. So what I might do is I might go interview or try to interview the mayor of the city. Just do an interview, right? I might try to do interview the elementary school teacher or principal or some sort of community somebody that the community knows. I might try to ask them for an interview and just say, hey, I'd love to interview. Most people would love that. Time restraints permitted. They would love the opportunity to be able to promote whatever it is they're promoting. So doing those things first and trying to hack through in the audience, because they're going to have people that they know, that know them, they're going to watch that content. So it's my way of kind of building in my influence into that community. So I might do that next. And then what I probably would do is I probably would start to do for my branding videos. I might, if this is me personally, I might try to do like fun stuff where I'm either doing stuff, not that it goes viral, but it has a kind of a stickiness to it. So whether it's walking a property and I'm singing a dumb song, or I'm trying to do something that just gets people's attention or gets them to have some sort of familiarity with me, and maybe I run that again as organic, but also dual purpose that as an ad, and then go with those direct, those billboard strategies or those direct response pieces. Made video a couple months ago and never got impressions. I made one for the whole state of California and no other limiters. Did another video last week, and now Google says I'm disapprove malicious software. Chris, I'd have to know more about. I'd have to see the funnel. I don't know. So malicious software. When Google disapproves something, it's kind of broad sometimes, and sometimes you got to call them. And Google support right now is not very attentive, and they're not very active because of COVID. But so you have to. I'd have to know a little bit more about the entire funnel to know what it is, and even then, it could be a very broad category as to why Google is disapproving you. So you'd have to know that. All right. Jackson wants to know, so that direct response ad targets people who have already watched an ad. How would one set up a campaign to retarget to someone who's watched a previous ad? Great question. So yes, in your Google Ads account, you can create a custom audience off of anybody who's watched, and it uses YouTube as a source. So you can retarget and create audiences out of people who have watched any of your video content organically. So anybody who goes to your YouTube channel, watches any videos, they find you in search, and they go to your channel, any of those things, you can create an audience out of those people. You could also create an audience out of anybody who subscribed to your channel. You can create an audience out of anybody who's liked a video or engaged with the video. But you can also create an audience out of anybody who has watched a previous video as an ad. Now, here's what that means. A view, by definition to Google standards, is anybody who watches 30 seconds or more or clicks on the ad. Any of those two things, or if they watch the ad to its completion. So if you did a 5-second ad, they watch all 5 seconds, that's to completion. Any of those three components, Google can then put you into an audience, and then you can retarget those people. Here's the other thing about retargeting on Google. You can't do it until you've had 1,000 or more people join the audience. So when you get 1,000 or more people to join the audience, you can do it. Now, it's not going to be hard. It's not going to take long for your ad to do that. depending on what you're spending, if you're spending $5 to $10 a day and your location, call it your state, you'll probably hit 1,000 people within just a few days. Not that hard to do. Maybe give it a week or 2 weeks at the worst, depending on what it is. So you can create a retargeting audience just on people who watch it 30 seconds or more. And then you can run a retargeting audience out of people like that. So you can keep refining down to where you're only talking to people who have watched 3 or 4 videos. And so one thing you might want to do is you maybe don't set up too many call to actions in the other videos. There's no real call to action. It's very subtle, it's not very heavy. Then you could really put your call to action really hard and heavy on that second or third or fourth, or how many videos you want to go deep, you can do that. So let's see. So I set up 3 zip codes, $20 a day. Awesome. Tell me about what it is that you're targeting. What is it that you're trying to accomplish here, Jackson? Are you trying to get insurance leads? What is it that you're doing here? I'm happy to take a look at any of your stuff, or if I can't, I don't know if I can't really, but if you want to give me more context into what you're doing, I'm happy to help here. Again, if you are new here while I'm waiting for Jackson, do me a huge favor. Make sure you are liking the video. Make sure you are, comment, ask your questions. I know we have a number of people on the live right now, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. But this live stream is only going to be as good as it's going to be if you ask your questions and if you engage. I want to help you out the best that I possibly can. So leave a like on the video. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel where we're putting out content, trying to on a weekly basis that's going to address different topics, different things that you could get help with. So you are trying to get homeowners. All right. So homeowners insurance can be kind of tricky. And the reason why it's tricky is because it's hard to elicit the pain out of your audience to where they need to respond. You have to think about your audience like a reflex. You remember when you went to the doctor and you sat on the doctor's bench and they took that little hammer and they hit your knee and your knee went like that? Right? There was a reflex. There was a reaction to what it is that happened with the little mallet. Your audience in advertising has to be the same way. So for most people buying home insurance when? When are they buying home insurance? Well, they typically buy it when they are buying a house. They buy it if they were denied in a claim. There was a bad claim situation. Or they buy it if, for whatever reason, they were sold the home insurance when they moved their auto insurance. There wasn't really a major pain. Home insurance is one of those things that people don't think about a whole lot. They just don't. They don't think about their home insurance. It's not like their auto insurance. Their auto insurance, they get hit with ads 1,000,000 times a day from Geico, State Farm, Progressive. And while you're seeing some homeowners insurance ads, the ratio of auto insurance to home insurance it's a big teeter-totter that swings one way. And it does that for a reason, because again, the audience doesn't have that pain, that reflection, that reflex that's responding to something. And so it's more dormant, it's more lax. And because it's that way, people don't think, oh man, I gotta change my home insurance. I really gotta change that. Like they don't a lot of people don't wake up thinking that. So it's a harder thing to target. Now, you can do this, and this is gonna be much more of a branding play. You can get some leads, you can certainly get leads, but it's not gonna be as easy to pull leads for home insurance as it is for life insurance or auto insurance or sometimes business insurance. Sometimes it's going to be a tougher pull. But what Google allows you to do is Google allows you to target people who are homeowners. So you can do a zip code, and we'll just call it my zip code, 85209. You can target the entire zip code, and then you can specify in the demographics that you want them to be a homeowner only. You only want to target people that Google believes has bought a home. And so you can then target people with the value proposition or whatever it is that you're trying to do to get people to do that. So as people are coming up for renewal, or as they're trying to make a change, or they're looking for auto insurance, then you can specify that. One angle that I like to do personally for auto insurance or for home insurance is I target auto insurance and I specify that they have to be homeowners. Because I know it's going to be a lot easier to get someone to respond to auto insurance than it will be to get them to respond to home insurance. But if I know that they're homeowners in my targeting, then I know what I'm selling. So I can sell the auto. I can make that be the kind of the foot in the door, but I'm really going for the home. The other way that you can get homeowners insurance is by targeting people who are looking to buy a house. So we know that this is a trigger that people are using when they shop for home insurance. This is what causes people to shop for home insurance. So what you can do, and we do this a lot of times when we do mortgage lead generation for mortgage partners and referral partners, is we'll ask the question if they would like to also receive a complimentary quote on their homeowner's insurance. Just, hey, would you like us to provide this as well? The whole thing has been mortgage, 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 mortgage. Then we ask them, would you like to also be able to know what your home insurance is going to cost? More often than not, they say yes. So then that allows us to ask the question. So we can then call them, we can solicit them, we can put them in our drip campaigns, we can start to automate that process a little bit more. And then as they buy a home, whether it's in 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, they're still getting communications from us, and we have that opportunity. Sometimes it's a longer play, but you can do that. All right, so let's see. Can I retarget with an ad with people that have watched my organic videos? Chris, yes, you can do that. So when you are in your Google Ads account, and the way that you get to your Google Ads account is by going to ads.google.com. You go to your Google Ads account. You'll go to the little wrench up top in the upper right-hand corner. You'll go to Audience Manager, and then you're going to create a remarketing audience out of your YouTube. There's a little blue circle with a plus in it. You're going to click on it. It's going to be, YouTube. It's going to say YouTube on there, YouTube viewers. You click on that, and then you can specify that you want people who are watching videos on your channel. So whether it's organically or whether it's in an ad, you can retarget your YouTube viewers that way. We have a question from JC. JC, I'll talk a little bit about this, but one of the things that I talked about at the very beginning of this stream is if you join me on June 9th at 1 p.m., I'm going to do an ad live, start to finish, on life insurance. This came by way of our group, our freemium group. If you're not in our Facebook group, Made You Look Video Marketing, then I want you to join that group today. I put a poll out a few days ago where I asked people what type of ad would they like to see me build from start to finish, from script to ad to funnel, all the above, and life insurance was the clear winner. So I'm going to build this live. So put it on your calendars, June 9th, 1 p.m. Pacific time. I'll talk about it here, but we're going to go into a lot of detail on that. That'll be probably a 1 or 2 hour call where we're just building the ad, and you're going to see start to finish how that all works. But to answer your question, for life insurance again is like home insurance. It would drive me nuts. I've been in the insurance industry now since 2005. It drove me nuts. Whenever I would see life insurance propaganda, it was always some like middle-aged like white family frolicking through the forest or the meadows, like skipping with their kids in hand, or the dad with his kids on his shoulder, or it's them like on a sailboat. I would look at that stuff and I think, why would anybody want to take action on that? Life insurance that is an emotional buying decision. People justify it with logic, but that is an emotional thing. I remember when my stepdad died, left my mom a widow. It's now 11 years ago. I remember it was a week after that, after kind of going through his, we'll call it life insurance. He had a very small term policy of $10,000. I remember not being mad at him. I wasn't mad, but I was thinking, wow, I need to sell life insurance. Not because I felt like hear me, like it wasn't because I thought like I saw this opportunity to make a lot of money, but it was like a need. Like I visually saw what that did to my family. And I said, I don't want to be the cause of any of these things. So I started selling life insurance. People buy life insurance around those situations. There's an emotional reason, right? They get married, they have kids. Maybe somebody close to them dies. Not a whole lot of people just wake up in the morning, they eat their English muffin, drink their orange juice, and they go, you know what? I need to get some life insurance today. Yeah, buddy. Life Insurance Wednesday. They don't do that for the most part. And so it's an emotional thing. So I would always get upset when I would see these people advertising using this imagery of these, and I understand, like, nobody wants to be controversial, nobody wants to like do it. But with life insurance, I took the position, I'm gonna hit you square in the nards. I'm gonna make you feel something, and you're gonna respond. You're either gonna ignore it and be an ostrich and put your head in the sand, in which case I don't want to waste my time with you, or you're gonna say, yes, I need this. So for us, we use YouTube ads to generate a lot of life insurance leads. We see leads at scale anywhere from $5 to $8 to $12. Kind of depends on the geography. And we have worked with people and we've helped them generate. It's probably one of the highest, other than mortgage, it's probably one of the higher volume leads that we've ever done. We're talking tens of thousands. Working with people that at this point now are spending $200, $300, $400 a day on life insurance ads. Started at $20 a day. So we've seen the full gamut. For us, there's two parts to a life insurance ad that really stand out and that really make this work. Number one, you gotta have a simple, easy to understand, clear offer. This really is true of all YouTube ads, by the way. But you need to have something that's gonna cut to them emotionally. Sometimes it could be provocative, sometimes it could be enticing, but you need to get to the emotional reason why they're doing this first. And you need to do it fast because they've got 6 seconds and they're going to skip the video. So you need a very compelling, easy to understand hook. Don't talk to them like you're a life insurance agent, because life insurance agents talk like life insurance agents. Don't do that. Talk to them like they're a human being, and you'll do well. The other thing you need to have is you need to have a powerful visual hook. This means that when they see the ad, you got to grab their attention. And you're going to grab their attention by two ways: by what you say and by what they see. So you can go as bland and as vanilla as sitting in your wood-paneled walled office with a picture of a mallard in the background, and you underneath fluorescent lights wearing just your button-up shirt. That's not emotional. There's no visual compelling reason why they would want to pay attention to that. Or you can do something different. You can go to a hospital. You can go to a cemetery. You could be outside of a hearse, a morgue. You can be in front of someone's house. Like, you don't have to be so provocative. You can be outside someone's house and tell a story about the people that live there, clients or otherwise. So you need a compelling reason visually for people to pay attention. We're going to talk a lot about this in 2 weeks when we build the life insurance ad on our next live stream. Again, June 9th, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you're here. But those are the things that I would say. The other thing that we found to be really effective on life insurance is taking them to different online quoters and widgets and things that give people instant rates. People want results. So I'll show you what we do on that call. I'll show you exactly what we do. The online system that we use that allows you to give instant rates and people to apply might be very, very powerful. So Jackson says, going back to the home insurance, first-time homeowners premium goes up, bad claim experience. Yes, sure. First-time homeowners premium goes up. That happens, but again, this has been my experience being in personal lines insurance now since 2005. Ask somebody what they pay for their home insurance. They got no clue. No clue. Maybe they know a range, but they don't know. If it goes up 10%, the vast majority are still not going to have any idea. So again, think about those. They're just harder fish to catch. They swim a little deeper. So let's see. Please share more on new home buyers, please. Okay, great. So Jackson, so what we do, and again, if you guys are new here, make sure you are putting your questions down in the chat. I will get to as many as I see and get to. So for new home buyers, we do a lot of lead generation for mortgage. We work with a lot of loan officers, and we work with a lot of insurance agents who generate mortgage leads for their referral partners. I'm a big fan of this strategy overall, and whether you use Facebook or YouTube or anything, I think it's powerful. I have a bias. Naturally, I prefer YouTube ads. I prefer them because I feel like they're more brand facing. They are they're you get a little bit more higher intent because you're going after what people are searching for, as I explained in that in-market audience illustration. But what we do is we work with lenders who want to just work and generate leads for their business. And we work with insurance agents, and we've done this as well, where we're selecting referral partners in mortgage and we're giving them leads. We tell them we're going to give these to you, no charge, it's free. We want to work with you on the insurance side. We want to be that person. So it's a very powerful strategy. The reason why I like it is because with insurance, if you're an insurance agent, Jackson, generating an insurance lead is generating one lead. You can't really predict if you're going to get referrals off of it. You hope that you do, but it's one lead to one customer. Whereas, and this works for mortgage lenders who want to work with real estate agents, any referral strategy. One lead for a referral partner could lead to multiple business, and that could be a little bit more predictable, a lot more scalable. So that is the thing. So what we do with Google Ads on YouTube is we get in front of people that Google knows is interested in buying a house. They want to buy a home based on the websites that they're going to, based on what they're doing online, based on their search history, their watch history, what shows up in their Gmail, what are they spending money on with their Google Wallet, all the above. Right? Google is your daddy. Google knows everything. The Illuminati is scared of how much information Google knows about them. That's how much data they got. The reason why I don't see Google in front of Congress half the time is because I think those politicians are scared of how much information Google knows about them. And they just have better lawyers. But it's a different rant for a different day. But we can target people who are in the market for those things. So whether it's residential real estate, whether it is investment properties, whether it is any of those things, we can target those people and we can get in front of them and we take them through a survey where we're just asking them questions. When they want to move, if they've got good or better credit, if they have money for a down payment, what they can afford for a monthly mortgage expense, all that stuff. And we do that. And what I'll do on some of them with the permission of my loan officers is I'll ask them, can we ask a question that asks them if they want to quote for home insurance? We want to be respectful of our referral partners, so we ask that question. And no one ever says no. And we then use that information to then, because we know they're trying to buy a house, and if they buy a house relatively soon, they're going to need home insurance. That's a good strategy to do. Thanks. Is there a best practice for how many ad groups per campaign? How many keywords per ad group? Should we have in-market audiences in the same ad group or create different ad groups for demographics? All right, so Steve, what I like to do for YouTube ads is I like to have one campaign, one ad group. And in that, I'll target keywords. In fact, I'm going to write this out. This would be better if I illustrate this. Let me pull up my screen here. And I'm actually going to illustrate this out. It's a great question. Let's do this. One of these days I'm going to have somebody that does all this for me. But until that time. So what I like to do is I like to run one campaign. It should show up here in just a second. In that one campaign, I have one ad group. And by ad group, that means one thing I'm targeting. Now, in every ad group, I have one ad. Now, this one ad could be keywords. It could be, well, I'll just duplicate this, right? So campaign, ad group, ad. And this one might be topics. And I'm going to rinse and repeat, and I'm going to do this. Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm testing something, if it's something that I've never done before, then I'll run with this type of strategy. I might do one for in-market audiences. I might do one for custom intent audiences. All the different things that you can target on Google Ads. I actually made a playlist on my channel. So if you guys want to go to my channel at some point and watch all the different videos I have on different targeting methods and what they work, what they do, how they work, etc., I would encourage that. But I'll run multiple things. Then what I'll do is once I have winners, so with the keywords, I might do 3 to 5 keywords. I might do 3 to 5 topics. In the audiences, let's do this just so you can see contextually. Do audiences. I might have 3 to 5. So what I then do, if I zoom out here, a little better, is I then take the winner. If I'm getting a keyword that's really outperforming other ones, I'll take that winning keyword, and I might do it and I'll take the winning audience, and then what I'll do is I will take, once I have data, and by data I mean I've got my click cost is good, I'm getting conversions, and I'm getting them at a good price. They're within KPI. I've done all the optimizing, all the refining, all the pruning, everything that I need. So then what I'll do is I'll launch another campaign, and what I'll do is I'll set this up as TCPA. This is a type of bidding in Google Ads. And this will be the winning keyword and the winning audience. So I'll layer at that point. I'll usually only like to layer once I have sufficient data. And by sufficient data, I'm talking probably north of 50, 75 conversions. I'm trying to get as much data as I possibly can of what's working, what's not working, before I start to go into this phase. But that's typically how I like to run. I like to keep things separate with separate campaigns, single ad groups, single ads, targeting multiple targeting specific things. In every single campaign, the only things I layer is locations, right? So every ad has a location, it has demographics, and it has the targeting method. So keywords, topics, whatever. I do that on every single ad. These are in every single campaign. The only thing I don't do to start is I don't do multiple methods until I have winning data. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Let's see. And I'm in the mortgage business and focus on bad credit, second mortgages, very competitive in my market range, going from going from $20 to $40 clicks, but I don't think anyone is running paid ads for YouTube. We've run thousands of leads on YouTube. Where are you at, Steve? Where are you located? Because mortgage is actually a huge niche that we focus on, and it works tremendously well. We see leads coming in anywhere from $6 a lead to $5 a lead. We've seen them come in as low as 89 cents a lead. Long form ads and leads. If you focus on bad credit, especially, you get those for pennies on the dollars. When I say $6 to $10, $6 to $12, that's typically people that we're kicking out. That's after we exclude people. So I'd like to know a little bit more, Steve, as to where you are located. What's going on, Kirk? Kirk is my real estate agent, Kirk Erickson. Welcome to the live stream. Yes, hit him in the nards. Big takeaway. Absolutely. So let's see. Jackson's. So I'll go back to Steve first. So Steve, you're in Toronto. Yeah, I mean, here's what I've said. We have a few people in our program who are in Canada, and they've all told me the same thing, that it's easier to get leads in Canada than it is in the States. For I don't know if that rings true, but in the States, mortgage as an example, we can do pretty well with that. We can average out over some time at about $10 to $12 a lead on most locations, and That's typically after we've kind of refined the ad a little bit, we've kind of pruned it and we've kind of optimized our ad a little bit. So it's not unusual. Like, I don't know if he's on this live stream, but we have a person in our program. His name is Dylan. He's in South Carolina. His lead costs started off pretty high. It's like in the mid 20s, low 30s. That's high for mortgage. After time of consistently optimizing, I tell people we're turning this into a little bonsai tree here. We got to clip little things off here, clip little things off there. And with that being said, we're able to get those campaigns to where they are now firing off for much, much lower. So it's a great question. It's definitely doable in Canada and works there. So Jackson says, I shoot videos in the cemeteries. Should have listened to the reaction? Yeah, I would. Because it's an emotional pool. You have to remember, we can get caught up in all this stuff. We can get caught up in all this stuff. We can get really lost in the platform, whether it's Google or YouTube or Facebook. We can get lost in the platform. And we almost treat it like a crutch. People do this with platforms. They do this with automation. They do this with all kinds of stuff. The reason people are going to buy something from you is because you've opened an emotional door for them. Remember that. People are going to buy stuff because they are making an emotional decision. So you have to appeal to that emotional reason why people are doing that. And what are the emotional reasons that people make decisions? Well, in no particular order. They want security. They want status. They want health, which can also be security or status. They're doing it because they don't want to miss out on something. There's a scarcity. Like, I better do this or else I might miss it. There's all these emotional reasons. It's your job to do that. So when you are approaching advertising, this is true on everything. You can't talk to them like you're talking to the mirror. You know why it's a good reason to get life insurance, home insurance, any of that. You know why it's a good reason. Because you went through you elected to do this as an occupation. You went through the continuing education, the licensing process. You do it every single day. You understand the reasons, logically. But your customers don't. If they did, they'd all be customers. Or you wouldn't have a market to serve because they'd already have the solution. So you have to figure out what the emotional reasons are. And you have to just knock on that door. You got to keep knocking on that door. And you got to appeal to that. They'll have plenty of time to use their brain to justify the emotional decision. And I don't care if you're buying bubble gum. I don't care if you're buying a pair of blue jeans. I don't care if you're buying private islands in the Bahamas. There's emotional reasons that are attached to this. Jackson, what I would encourage you to do is to really start to think about why your perfect customer, the bullseye customer, the one that if you could just, it's like you're Luke Skywalker shooting the Death Star and it's going in that little hole. Like, what is the perfect customer? What is it about them that makes them a customer of yours? A customer of yours. And then start to build out the messaging around that. Really start to think about it. Don't just think about, well, yeah, because we saved them money. Well, okay, they could have saved money if they dived in for 15 minutes longer on the internet. They could have found that. So your customers exist. It's up to you to craft responses that's going to appeal to their emotional psyche. That's going to make them want to make a decision in your favor. What's up, Jason? Glad to have you. Do you recommend anything with getting real estate seller leads? Yeah, Stinky Potatoes. By the way, still the greatest name, still the greatest YouTube handle ever, Stinky Potatoes. I think that is a fantastic name. So, let's go back here. Let's take this off the screen. So, for real estate sellers, number one, let's work our way backwards here. There is targeting options already pre-built in Google Ads for people who are looking to sell a home. You can get in front of those people. Again, Google is using the data that it has based on what people are doing on the internet and by doing that, they can they can kind of get a really good signal for if they're trying to sell a home. So for that, there's a few different angles that you can go after. You can go after the traditional, what's my home worth? I do feel like that offer's a little played out. I mean, I think that offer's been going on, since the '80s, if not before. So the whole what's my home worth? Yeah. I'll tell you. Here's what I work with when I work with real estate agents. What I always tell them, I tell them my personal experience because I don't feel like I'm an anomaly. I first bought my first house in California in the year 2009. Lost me for a second. 2009. If you remember back in 2009, it was the recession. Housing market just went. If you know anything about California real estate, it's a ripoff. I used to think I would never buy a home. Recession happens. I'm able to buy a house. So before I got married, before I had kids, I was a single man. Now, where I bought the house wasn't a very good neighborhood. It just wasn't very good. I think one year we had 13 homicides, like gang-related shooting homicides in one year, all within 1 mile radius of my doorstep. We had homeless shelter on this side, homeless shelter on that side, and the county courthouse on the other side. And it was just one of those neighborhoods. But I was able to buy a house. Great. A little short-sighted because, not too long after that I got married. Had kids. Started to realize, like, this isn't where I want to buy a house. It's not where I want to live. I didn't want to raise my kids in this type of environment. So what my real estate agent did, who I love her in California. I love you too, Kirk. If Kirk's still watching. Kirk's my Arizona realtor, by the way. Moving to Arizona, Kirk Erickson, realtor to the stars. Anyways, so my real estate agent in California did what a good real estate agent does. She contacted me proactively and said, would you, she presented an opportunity. Again, why do people make decisions? Because they want a higher level of status. Okay. Wasn't really what I was looking for. I mean, it would have been nice to have a nicer house. Sure. Or they make it based on a level of safety. Needing to feel safe. Needing to have safety. Needing to make sure that your family is safe. That was the emotional reason. I wanted to move, but I just wasn't doing it. It wasn't until I got a direct solicitation for that. So, bring it full circle here. If I were a real estate agent, one thing that I would be doing, if this exists where you live, is I would be targeting the lower neighborhood, like the lower, traditionally socioeconomic neighborhoods. Because there are people in those neighborhoods that probably feel stuck or don't know that there's a better solution. And I would target them with maybe a listing ad or something else like, hey, let's list your house because you can get this much money. Hey, it's 2020. If you bought your house in 2000 and X, between the years 2000 this and 2000 that, there's a really good chance that you have over 50% more equity in your current home, and we can use that to get you into one of these houses and show the pictures of the houses. You're gonna get some responses on that, and then you can qualify them based on if they really meet your criteria, because you'll probably get some people doing that who shouldn't move, or just they're not your customer. Then for lack of better terms, they live in that neighborhood kind of for a reason. I know it sounds harsh, but the math is the math. So that is kind of a strategy. The other thing I would do is I would run ads from somebody that wants to sell their house. If you're a real estate agent, you know people that want to sell their house. You probably got them under contract right now. Interview them. Get them on camera. Do a video with them. Have them do the video. Whatever you're going to do. Hey, this is me and my wife Danielle. We are really looking to buy a house, but we can't get any, we want to buy a house in this neighborhood and target that neighborhood. Target that community. More affluent if you want to. Me and my wife and my family, we really want to move here. There's no inventory. We don't. This is our stream. Tell a little bit of the story. make it a desirable neighbor, right? And run ads in that community for people who would be interested in possibly selling their house to that couple. There's a couple different angles you can do, but you can target people on the back end with Google Ads for people who are looking to sell their house. And I would just run ads to that audience. Great question. We get asked that a lot, actually. Let's see what else we got here. Volume is good for me. I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell timeshares. I prefer not to sell any timeshares. So I'm trying to get to the spot where I don't have to sell anything anymore. That would be a great day for me. So thank you for the compliment. So again, guys, if you have any other questions, make sure you put them in the chat right now. We got a number of people watching. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. I want to help answer your questions when it comes to scripting, strategy, ads, organic, anything that I can help you guys with. We're taking these questions live, and I want to help you the best that I can. Where are you getting stuck? Where are you having hiccups? Where are you having struggle? Make sure you are, asking these questions, because I want to do my best to try to help you in any way that I possibly can. Again, put them in there. Great information. Thanks, man. Stinky Potatoes, where are you from, man? Tell me. I want you to put in the chat. Tell me where you're coming from, because you've been on a few of our streams now, and I always appreciate having you. I'd love to know where you're coming in from. So again, if you are also just now joining us, put it on your calendar. June 9th, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be doing a live breakdown where I'm going to build a life insurance ad, start to finish, with a script. I'm going to Martha Stewart it a little bit. By that, I'm actually going to already have a script already pre-written, and I'm also going to have a demonstration video. But we're going to write it, and you're going to understand why I wrote it the way that I wrote it. But we're going to place that ad. Jackson, you have a great week, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, that live call, that Done With You ad call is going to take place on June 9th, 2 weeks from today at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will stream live here and only here on my YouTube channel. So do me a favor and make sure you mark your calendars. I'm going to give this a little bit longer, and if we don't have any other questions, if nobody wants to take advantage of this time, I'm certainly not going to keep it here. Kentucky, I love Kentucky. We were just there. Well, we weren't just there. We were there last year. About a year ago this time, actually. We spent some time in Lexington. Stayed there about a little over a week. It is beautiful country. So thank you for joining in. But guys, I'm not going to hold you here. So let's take advantage of this time now. What questions can I answer for you? How can I possibly help you guys in any area, in your marketing, in your advertising, in anything that you're trying to do? Make sure you guys drop that in the questions now, and we will we'll answer them. We'll show you on the screen. We'll show you what we need to do, how we need to do it, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to give this just a moment longer, and if we have nobody else, then I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to let you guys get back to your day. This is going to be a regular occurrence, so make sure you show up every 2 weeks on the channel, and we might do other things that we make announcements on. Join our Facebook group, Major League Video Marketing. That's going to be where we drop a lot of things. That's where we do polls, and we do that. Are you having chatbot success? I don't run things. I'm not a big fan of a chatbot. I made a video about this, how to use YouTube ads for chatbots. It's not my thing. I'm not a fan of it. So I don't run those ads. But I know it's a thing for a lot of people. So I wanted to make a video that explains how to do it, and probably a good strategy with YouTube ads. And you can find that on my channel. But I'm just not a huge fan of it, so I don't personally run them. I jokingly say, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I kind of jokingly say that the only people that really like chatbots are marketers or salespeople. Because as a consumer, I hate them. I don't want to deal with a chatbot. I'm weird, and I'm putting my own biases in my strategy, so I fully acknowledge that. For some people, they're really effective. There's some people that have tremendous success with chatbots, and I say all the power to them. Congratulations, I hope they make $1 billion. It's just nothing that I want to do. But I did make a video that explains how to use YouTube ads with chatbots. And go there, so let's see here. Is there anything that you guys would like to see more on these calls that will help you guys, and they'll benefit you guys, that will help you guys take action, that will help you guys get going with your advertising. I want to make sure that these times are really valuable for you and that we can take advantage to help you guys, because that's really what I want to do. I would love for everyone to join our program, but I know that sometimes is not the easiest thing for a lot of people, and so we want to try to get as many quick wins as we possibly can to make it a no-brainer for you. Do you have a vid on landing page builder? I do in our program, so I'm biased to a few different outlets for landing pages. I like SurveyGizmo and I like Convertry. Those are the two that I use. But there's so many of them out there, so I don't have a lot outside of our program on that, because, and maybe I will. It's probably good content to make, like a tutorial on how we use surveys or how we use Convertry or whatever the case is. I think that's actually a pretty good content video. I think I'll save that for like a tutorial video. Health insurance agents looking for better lead generation. What would be a good angle to target potential customers? How can they gain success with Facebook ads? I think whether you do Facebook or Google, it's probably all the same. Health insurance, if I were doing health insurance, I would target conservatives, and I would run on the angle of the anti-Obamacare, or I'd run on the angle of one thing that's big is kind of those crowd-funded health insurance companies like MediShare. I know those are pretty popular, and I would target conservative audiences with alternatives to Obamacare or anything like that. That's probably the angle that I would run, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. What are your thoughts on animated style videos for ads? I think they work sometimes. I think it depends on what you're trying to do. So if you were in life insurance and you're trying to sell life insurance, I don't think I would run an animated ad, because I want to use my opportunity to get in front of them to build trust and rapport, and that's harder to do over an animated video. Number one, it looks like a commercial, and people want to skip commercials. But I think so that's another reason why I'm not a big fan of it. I think if the audience is warmer, the warmer the audience, the more familiar they are with you, the more I like it. The less familiar an audience is with you, the less I like it. So if they don't know who you are and you're just trying to run ads all across the state of Louisiana, which I know is, I'm assuming is what you're doing, JC, then I would make it brand facing, face facing, let them see me, let them build rapport with me. And then as they become more aware with me, if they haven't made decisions yet, then I would retarget with that stuff. I think that's a better play than just going cold audience animated videos. Let's see. I think setting up an ad from start to finish would be the best. Yeah, I'm going to do that in 2 weeks, Stinky Potatoes. 2 weeks from today, I'm going to build a life insurance ad start to finish. So I hope you join me at that time. Alan, sorry, retracted. Yeah, mini build outs. We're gonna do all that. Yeah, my light setup. I take a lot of pride in my light setup, and I like it. I got 2 lights. I got a light here. I got a light there. I got a backlight. I take a lot of pride in it. It's something that is. It's just a small little room that I have, a little 10x10 room. Nothing fancy. I have a Sony A6400, about a $400 camera, and the rest I just rely on with lights. Did you say Convertry for landing pages? Yeah, I like Convertry. Yeah, I like it over like ClickFunnels or anything like that. I'm a fan of it. I think it loads faster on Google Ads. I've not had good success with ClickFunnels on Google Ads, personally. I haven't seen anybody that we've worked with have good success either. But we'll take the same ad and we'll run it to either a survey or to a different landing page or to WordPress or anything that loads faster, and it converts, same ad. So I don't know if it's just dumb luck. I mean, it's happened probably a dozen times now. So I tend to think that ClickFunnels is not what I would recommend if that's what you're using. But Convertry is pretty good. You need the cliche hustle sign on the wall. Please don't. No, I don't have that. What I've got is, and that's just because I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, is I've got the play like a champion today sign. That's what I've got. So I know JC's still on the call. He's a big fan of that as well. He loves Notre Dame. I'm a diehard college football fan, so it makes sense for me. But no, you'll never see me with a sign that says hustle. You'll never see me wear a shirt that says hustle or rise and grind or any of that nonsense. Build my own. What do you mean, Chris, build your own? What do you mean by build your own? Um, for outdoor videos, do you use a GoPro? I used to use a GoPro. In fact, I've got a GoPro down there somewhere. I like GoPro. GoPro's awesome. Um, I don't use it too much because honestly, my cell phone's better. I used to make vlogs. I used to do a lot of vlogging, and with the GoPro, I would do my vlogs with that. But when I'm just trying to shoot ads, honestly, my cell phone just outperforms. It's just I don't need like number one, I'm not like falling down like I'm not mountain biking down a trail or trying to jump hills. I'm not going underwater. So the cell phone has been the best thing for me, just shooting it in selfie mode. Um, yeah, for outdoor videos. Thanks, Santa Roll Tide, Roll Turd, JC. Yeesh. Y'all are over. The dynasty's over now. You know it is. All right, so build my own landing pages. So I guess Chris, I need more content. What do you mean? Like, I think you should either build your own or you should have somebody else build them. Yeah. So when using your A6400, so the camera I'm shooting with right now, which just stays stationary. I wish I could flip this around. I need to do a video. I keep procrastinating. I need to do a video on my setup. But do you hold it or do you just have a cage? If I'm using my A6400, I'll just hold it. I do have, it's down there. I have a Ronin gimbal as well, but that thing is heavy. It's heavy. So that's a stabilizer. But honestly, if I'm shooting selfie stuff, I'm just using my cell phone. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Let's see. All right, we've been going here for 66 minutes strong. I'm thankful that you guys are here. What other questions do we have, guys? What can I answer for you that's going to help you guys with your ads or with any marketing strategy that you guys have? Happy to help any way that I possibly can. I've already announced to death ad nauseum our live training in 2 weeks, so make sure you join us for that. And I'm going to give this about 30 seconds. If I don't see any more questions come in, I know we have a little bit of delay. If I have no more questions coming in, I'm gonna end this stream and we'll resume in 2 weeks. But we'll give this just a few more seconds, and then we will cut it off if we need to. All right, guys. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click end stream. You guys have a great Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us for this Ask Me Anything. I had a lot of fun.